Well, hello folks, and welcome back to The Slice for a live edition of our daily updates during the Australian Open. We are here in the Slice studios, and we're going to be breaking things down from day 3 action at the Australian Open. I appreciate you being here. For the live viewers, I'm going to be taking some of the comments at the end of this video, so let me know what you think or what you think's going on, or if you have any questions. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you turn on the notification bell and obviously subscribe so that you can join us when we're going live at different points during the rest of the tournament. Also might be watching a couple matches live because I got the tournament going on right over there. We're over here in the studio and things are happening. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. What happened in the Australian Open Day 3? Well, during the day, I wore my new Australian Open shirt, obviously. We're going to be giving one of these away on Instagram, just a side note. So follow at The Slice Tennis on Instagram, and then you'll be able to know when we're going to do that and how you can have a chance to win. You can also just support The Slice on the website. So yeah, day 3 action at the Australian Open. Federer played, Djokovic played. They both won, so no huge upset headlines here today. But Federer looked super good. Krajinovic, who is not someone he should really be super worried about, but Krajinovic has made the final of a Masters 1000 before, and it's definitely not like he's a scrub. So it's just a worthy opponent, like anyone really is. But Federer looked amazing. He looked super loose, super aggressive. He just looks in the first 2 matches so far just unbelievably tuned in. Whatever he was doing in the offseason, which was obviously not sitting on the beach, like one of the commentators said, has been working. So he looks great. He hit 14 aces in this match, 0 double faults, 69% of his first serves in. Great number. And he just looks in shape, doing well. And one of the other things I noticed is that he is returning extremely well. So he won 78% of Krajanovic's second serves. And Krajinovic served very well. He served like 78% first serves in. So Federer's returning well, which is a good sign because he can obviously, when he's serving well, he needs to do that to be really dominant. But returning well is going to help him obviously a lot when it gets to the later rounds against harder opponents. So his next opponent is John Millman. I'm sure you remember back in 2018 U.S. Open, Millman took out Federer. An apparent lapse of Federer's body. He was sweating like a monster that match. And old Johnny Millman, who's a legend, took him out. All credit to John Millman there because he had to play good still. And the thing is, John Millman has been playing in this tournament, and he's looking very inspired by what they're calling Millmania down in Australia. So John Millman has actually taken out 2 of the players in my top 10 players of the next 10 years list. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. You can search for it, or it should appear here or maybe at the end. But I put out 10 players who I think are going to be the best players in the next 10 years. And John Millman has already taken out 2 of them in this tournament. He took out Hugo Humbert from France, who's a good young player, won his first tournament in Auckland or Adelaide, I can't remember. And then he just took out Hubert Hurkacz, who's the 31 seed at the tournament, young Polish dude who I think is awesome. Friend of the show, had an interview down in the Miami Open. John Millman took them both out, playing really good. He took Hurkacz out in 3 sets. So he's feeling good coming into this tournament, to this match versus Federer. But the thing is, if Federer plays like we've seen him play, I don't think there's much chance for Millman. Federer's just too aggressive right now. He's feeling too good, and he just seems so comfortable and loose out there. He's just slicing and dicing, coming to the net, hitting drop volleys, doing his thing, and he's just on balance. So I'm predicting a very straightforward win for Federer in that match, even though Millman is my guy. He's shared one of our stories before, and he's playing well. I'm predicting Federer. And it's actually turning out that Federer's quarter is super opening up. So I know a lot of you guys, when I did the draw show, and I said Federer had the hardest quarter, a lot of you guys were like, no, Rafa has the hardest quarter. Or like, no, Djokovic has the hardest quarter. I think most people said that, no, Djokovic has the easiest quarter. We're going to talk about that because I think it's actually turned around a bit. But I will admit that since Shapovalov has gone out, Dimitrov has gone out because there was an upset. Tommy Paul defeated Dimitrov, and Sandgren had defeated Berrettini. That's a big upset in his quarter because Berrettini was the guy in his quarter. Everyone's saying Berrettini sucks. It's like, dude, he's 8 in the world. He doesn't suck. He's going to be good, especially on the fast hard courts of the Australian Open. But they're both out. So to be fair, now the only players left in Federer's quarter is Tennis Sangren, who is a legend. Tennis Sangren, Sam Querrey, Guido Pella, Fabio Fognini, Martin Fucsovics, Tommy Paul, John Millman, and Fedman himself. So, good opportunity for Federer to get to the quarterfinals without much hassle. But he's still got good business. He has to keep up his end, and it looks like he's doing it so far. So good on him. Novak Djokovic also rolls over a journeyman called Ito from Japan. I forget his first name, Matsumuna Ito from Japan. And it doesn't seem like the type of player that would bother Djokovic. He's not a huge guy, doesn't have huge strokes. And Djokovic won very simply, took 3 sets, but he seemed to be getting weirdly frustrated, almost threw his racket at one point, and he seemed like he was almost getting pushed around a bit by Ito. Even though it was a very straightforward win. Djokovic hit 16 aces, won 93% of his first serve points. So, like, smooth sailing for Djokovic, but he's getting a bit frustrated. So maybe he's feeling off a bit in his game. Next, he plays another Japanese man, Nishioka, who's a younger, better version of Ito for sure. So we'll see. And then it actually gets tough for Djokovic. So people were saying he had the easiest quarter, but he definitely has the hardest quarter right now, I think. He's got Tsitsipas and Raonic playing in the third round, and then Cilic and Bautista Agut playing in the third round. Then and if he beats Nishioka, he's going to play the winner of Schwartzman and Lajovic. All those guys are seeds, and all those guys have a slight amount of danger, especially, obviously, he could play Bautista Agut in the 4th round. So, he doesn't want to see that, because Bautista Agut is kind of his kryptonite, except he did take care of him at Wimbledon semifinals last year. Think about that. Semifinals Wimbledon, RBA. Tough draw there. Anyways, it's getting tougher for Djokovic down under, but I'm sure he'll be able to handle it because he is the Joker. Australian Open, he's won it 7 times. Now, so yeah, we already talked about the 2 upsets, Sangren and Berrettini. Tommy Paul defeated Dimitrov, which is big time. Now on the women's side, Coco Gauff had an epic comeback and just really good mental strength for the 15-year-old against Kirsten. So she's into the 3rd round. Williams, Barty, and Osaka are all still rolling. So not as many upsets, big upsets this year at the Australian so far, but we are super early in the women's draw, so things could get nasty from here on out. So anyways, that's where we're sitting. Tonight, we have matches. We have Nadal playing. Federico Del Bonis. Should not be a problem, but we're going to get another look at where Nadal's level is at after, he's played, it's been talked about a lot, the ATP Cup he played before. Didn't look his freshest against Delian, but still played. He looked pretty bagged after that match. And Kyrgios is playing Gilles Simon, still trying to get to that crash course, that big match with Nadal that we're all hoping to see, especially me. And then there's different matches. Dominic Thiem versus Alex Bolt, which will be fun to see because Alex Bolt's a spicy Australian player, and Thiem is my guy. Medvedev's playing tonight as well, and Zverev is playing as well. Rublev is a dark horse that we haven't talked about much. Rublev won the tournament in Auckland, or Adelaide, can't remember which one. But Federer said that Andrei Rublev is the guy that he expects to have a breakout year in 2020. So, interesting words coming from the GOAT. Sorry to offend anyone there, but right now he's currently the GOAT. And you know what? To me, it's basically settled, but we'll see what happens here in the next few years. But big praise from Federer saying that Rublev, who beat him at Cincinnati, is going to have a breakout year this year. And he's in a soft part of the draw. He could go to the semifinals without playing any one of the big 3. So interesting stuff there. So now, that is what we're looking forward to tonight. Some good matches. We're going to take a look at your guys' comments here, if I can find it. And there we go. And we're going to see what you guys are saying. Thank you guys so much. We have an ad playing on my own video. I'm watching my own live stream, and there's an ad playing. Look at that. YouTube's everywhere. So we're just looking at your guys' comments, and I wanted to thank you again for being involved in the broadcast. Literally, I don't take it for granted at all that I can broadcast my tennis coverage to thousands of fans around the world. You guys literally make me feel so great. Thank you for all the support. Thank you to the people who've already bought a shirt, an Australian Open limited edition collector's item. We're going to make one for all 4 Grand Slams this year. So just think about that. If you like collecting swag, you can collect these. I just thank you guys for the support. It's amazing. It's a dream come true. So we have Cynical Sports saying that Federer looks great. I agree. We got Julian Duke saying, you think he has a shot to beat Novak? And by him, I'm assuming you mean Nishioka. I don't. He has a shot to make it look tough. I mean, anything can happen, obviously. Nishioka took out my guy, Dan Evans, who is playing really good. So it's not like he's a scrub. Nishioka is young, and he's a lefty, and he's fast. So what I saw versus Ito is that Joker he wasn't being as aggressive enough, I don't think. And when he wasn't, Ito was pushing him around a bit, which Djokovic didn't like. I think Nishioka has more potential to push Djokovic around than Ito did, and we're going to see if Nishioka can stay composed. That's the only way he's going to have a chance to win, I think. So, there's that. Varun Top Chermini says, do you think Rafa will get to the final? Do I think he will? Well, he's on the top half without Federer or Djokovic to play in the semifinals, so theoretically, yeah, I think he's the favorite to definitely get to the final. There could be a few problems, though. If he plays Kyrgios, I think he could lose. If he plays Medvedev in the semifinals, I think he could lose. Honestly, even if he played Thiem in the semifinals, I think he could lose. But those are just worthy opponents. I still think he's the favorite in each one of those matches because he's one of the GOATs, so you got to respect that. We got Patrick Royston saying, the last time Roger was so relaxed and emphasized low expectations, Australian Open 2017. Let's hope he can maintain his relaxed and explosive play. Good point. I agree. He was very relaxed and very confident coming into 2017. He also won in 2018. And lately, when he starts a tournament good, that's obviously a good sign. He hacked his way through a few first rounds in tournaments like the 2017 US Open and a couple other ones that I can't remember exactly which ones, but I've never seen that turn out well. I've never seen him turn it around in a tournament. I've seen him have a great level all the way through, like at Wimbledon this year, when he basically won 2 points away. He had a great level the entire tournament and then almost won the tournament. He's looking good so far. He's had 2 matches. They haven't been the toughest opponents, so we're going to have to see. Millman's going to be a decent test of his level. But when he started good, he's had the best chance to win. So that is very true. Mazar Salim says, who's my favorite tennis player of all time? And that should be obvious. It's Roger Federer. He is the GOAT to me, and the way he plays is the most beautiful tennis ever. He takes his racket. And we're back at it. If Federer's playing good, there's not much Millman's going to be able to do. When he's playing this aggressive and loose, he will be able to take advantage and push Millman around, finish points quickly. He wasn't able to do that when they last played at the US Open. I have a fairly straightforward time with Millman, even though he's playing good, because I don't know if Millman plays his best when he's always on the back foot. He was able to get more on the equal kind of pace with like Hurkacz and other guys. So anyways, and last one, Isaac says, so dude says, Isaac said next gen champion. I don't know. I think it's going to be Medvedev first, but there's a lot of players, like Tsitsipas could do it, Thiem could do it, or Medvedev could do it. Those are my top 3. So anyways, thank you for tuning in, folks, to the live coverage of the Australian Open from the Slice. Grab your Australian Open tee, swag out while you're down there. Let me know if you're wearing it on the court. Also, thank you to the Front Row family who are watching. Love you guys. We're going to have our own show, our own call-in show at the beginning of next week, so stay tuned for that. And thank you to all of the supporters and the fans. I really appreciate it. How sick is this year's Australian Open already? So much good action, and we're just starting. So things are only going to get better from here on. We got big matches coming down the pipe in that 4th round. I used to call it the 4th round frenzy. We're going to go back to that because I think there's some serious big matches coming up in the 4th round, and it's starting to get spicy. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, folks. That is all from Steven at the Slice on this live coverage of day 3. It's going to get spicy here in day 4, I think. How many times can you say spicy, Steven? I don't know. Probably a few more times with the way things are going at this year's Australian Open. See you guys.